Mennen Sports Arena in Morris Township. It's the finals of the Mennen Cup tournament. Tonight, Delbarton takes on Knolls. Hello again, everyone. Glenn Cass and Pete Caggiano with you from the Mennen Arena, and we think we have an outstanding final game for you tonight in the Mennen Cup tournament. But Pete, I think Delbarton and Knolls will be going against an opponent tonight that neither of them probably will be able to stop.
That's the state of New Jersey. The NJSIAA has ruled that Delbarton will not be allowed to play 4 games in 6 days. So because of that, this will be the final game tonight. If Knolls wins the game, they are the champions. If Delbarton wins, they will be co-champions with Knolls.
Now Knolls has a great amount of confidence coming into this game. They defeated Delbarton after losing 3 games during the regular season to them. They look for their first title tonight in the Mennen Cup tournament. Pete, who's going to have to do it for them?
Well, obviously, it's Ian Weiner. Ian, the other night, with just 10 seconds to go, scored the game-winning goal against Delbarton to get them to the final round tonight. And if you look at the whole season, the margin of victory for Delbarton over Knolls has shrunk every game until the other night when actually Knolls was the victor.
Now, Delbarton had a unusual game the other night against Morristown Beard. They had to battle all the way through the game, finally winning 5-4 in a late goal by Maguire. Not the kind of game you'd like to see played when you're coming off a tough loss in the last 10 seconds of your last game. Pete, the wake-up call is going to have to come soon for the Green Wave. I guess the usual suspects tonight for them. Absolutely.
Look for Peter Ramsey. Look for Maguire again. Those 2 players have put the puck in the net all year. There's no reason to think they won't do it again tonight.
We'll find out who does it for which team tonight. Pete and I will be back with the drop of the puck on tonight's Mennen Cup Championship. The Green Wave of Delbarton and the Golden Eagles of Knolls. You're watching the Mennen Cup on SCA TV3. The William G. Mennen Sports Arena on the Mennen Cup Championship game. Delbarton and Knolls. Glenn Cass back with you along with Pete Caggiano. Let's go to the starting lineups right now. First for the Golden Eagles of Knolls. In goal, John Kovacs. He's 14-3, 2-0 in the playoffs. Left defense, Bob Gillanella, number 13. The right defenseman, Chris Stellata, number 24. Bruce Carter is the left winger, number 32. Mike Dybus, the right winger, number 28. The centerman, Bill Underwood, number 18. For the Green Wave of Delbarton, goaltender Jason Wade. He's 15-2 so far. The right defenseman is Maguire, number 2. Right winger, number 6, Peter Nelson, number 6, Peter Nelson. Left defenseman, number 9, Mike Crutchlow. Left winger, number 12, Peter Ramsey. And the centerman, number 3, John Mortensen. And we have a good one on tap for you tonight. We should let you know that some Mennen Cup trivia. Knolls looking for their first title in the 16-year history of the league. And Delbarton has won 5 of the last 6 Mennen Cups, including 4 in a row. They are looking for their 5th in a row tonight. And incidentally, Pete, if the Delbarton Green Wave win or tie tonight and share the title, it would be the first shared title in league history.
That's only because of the circumstance with the state regulations of how many games per week each team may play, and they're not allowed to extend it into next week. Both teams will be in the state playoffs next week.
Delbarton skating left to right in their dark uniforms. Knolls from right to left in the lighter uniforms.
Well, we have a second. Our officials, Paul McGinnis and Eric Monroe.
And off the draw, it goes back to the Knolls zone. Knocked through center ice. Maguire is there. He'll loft it back in. Peter Ramsey, 2 goals, 2 assists the other night, chases it to the corner. And he's joined by his teammate, John Mortensen. Behind the net, Bob Gillanella wraps it around the boards. It's out to center. Maguire will hammer it right back in. Kovacs behind the net. Had a little trouble, and now a call or upcoming.
The net came off the post as the Player Mortensen tried to go in between the goaltender, John Kovacs, and the goalpost, nudged the post off the mark. They'll move the faceoff outside the zone, just over the blue line.
These two teams were in the same division during the regular season, the Mennen division. Delbarton won it with a 16-0 record, 32 points. Knolls was second, 14-3 with 28. And all three of their losses came to the Green Wave of Delbarton. Bring it right out is Ian Weiner, the hero of the game the other night. The 4-3 victory Knolls had over Delbarton. He smashed to the end boards there behind the cage. Trying to work it out is Jim Bruce. He has it taken away and wrapped right back in. Weiner with it, or check that. That's Nelson, I believe. It's McKeon.
We're going to have a penalty coming up here.
Weiner put it past the net. It's going to be on Delbarton, Pete. The extra attacker on for Knolls.
And it's going to be an interference penalty. That time, Ian Weiner made a nice move in front of the net, and he was hooked down from behind. Good play by Knolls to keep control of the puck.
Still loose on the sideboards, and Albert couldn't get to it, but here's the call. Interference upcoming. And we'll wait to see who the call's on. It's on Andy Marshall.
That time Andy Marshall probably marked Ian Weiner very closely. Everyone knows that's the sniper for Knolls. He's the big scorer, and Delbarton had a player checking him closely, a little too closely, hooked him down without the puck, and for that, Knolls will get their first power play just a minute and a half into the game.
Knolls on the power play have 36 goals and 105 chances. A shot on net is stopped, and the rebound is loose in the corner. Delbarton penalty killing. They have allowed just 6 power play goals and 88 times short. A shot at the net is saved by Waite. Puck is loose, getting to it is Mortensen. He'll throw it through center. Out to his right to play it there is Kovacs. Unbelievable. Just 6 goals allowed by Delbarton. That's an outstanding ratio. This is Ramsey, shot off the arm of Kovacs. Ramsey gives chase. Mortensen cruising through the slot. He couldn't do anything with it. And here comes Weiner for Knolls. Ian Weiner gains the blue line. Spins away, leaves it for Gillanella. Mortensen intercepts to center. Knolls tried to move it in. That was Albert. He couldn't. Loose and cleared back to the Knolls zone.
Nice save before by John Kovacs as Peter Ramsey came over the blue line, let a nice shot go high to the glove side, and it was deflected by John Kovacs into the corner.
Gillanella gains the Delbarton zone, knocks it behind the cage. Wait to watch it as his defense plays. With it is Durney. Back to the right point, shot tipped wide of the net. Almost with a deflection was Bill Underwood.
Delbarton very lucky that time. Bill Underwood parked all alone right by the post. The shot came from the point. He got a piece of it, but deflected it just wide of the goaltender, Jason Waite.
So each team has already had an opportunity. 2 good saves, 1 for each goaltender. 13 seconds to go on the interference minor to Andy Marshall. Knolls knocks it to center. Delbarton re-intercepts, sends it back down. Penalty is over to Marshall, and a shot on net.
Offsides on the play to face-off. Will come back to center ice where the shot was taken from. There we take a look at the center, excuse me, the defenseman, Derek Maguire for Delbarton. Derek Maguire, first-team All-Star again this year. All-Stater last year.
And of course, the other night, the big goal. Just a minute 33 to go in that game with Morristown Beard. And drilled it from just over the blue line, just inside the blue line, I should say, and that was the game winner. Loose at center ice now. Mortensen will flip it to his right. He's got a man. Is number 6, Peter Nelson. Now it's Ramsey. Cut off for the front of the net by Keene. Still kept in by Delbarton. Loose at the blue line and then flipped into the stands.
Very nice play before by Brian Albert, the junior defenseman for Knolls. As Delbarton gained the blue line and came down the right side, he made an excellent play to ward the player off the puck and force him to the corner.
And there we take a look at John Kovacs. As I mentioned, he's 14-3, a very good 3.11 goals against average this season.
And of course, the 3 losses all coming at the hands of Delbarton. Season records for these two teams: Delbarton 16-0 for 32 points. Knolls 14-3-0 with the 3 losses at the hands of Delbarton.
Puck is kept in by Delbarton to the Knolls zone, but the Golden Eagles able to flip it right back out. In center is McCarter. He flips it in on net, and Waite makes the stop. Jim Bruce behind his own cage. Throws it far side. Now into center, it's Pendy. Check that Durney. Shot on net, saved by Kovacs. It's loose, and he's got the glove on it.
Easy save that time for John Kovacs. Shot coming from the left side about 20 feet out. He was able to hold on. There you see Eric Maguire talking to the, Eric Monroe talking to the players from Knolls, explaining the little pushing and shoving in front of the net, not really necessary. Both teams are well-coached, well-disciplined teams. I doubt if you'll see any of the rough stuff tonight.
Off the draw on the Delbarton, check that Knolls zone, it's sent to center. Maguire hammers it right back in. Kovacs has trouble behind his own net, and Gillanella has to play it. Gillanella decides to go on the far side route. He gets it to Weiner in center. Unable to control, though, was Weiner, and the puck is loose, picked up by Maguire. Wrapped in by Delbarton, off the end boards. Knolls looks for the avenue of escape. Doing some good forechecking there is Rich Falcone. Knolls will send it along the near side boards now. Still tied up, and out to center there's Weiner. Weiner against 3 Delbarton players. No. Derek Maguire picks it up. Maguire trying to get away from Weiner. Maguire finally has it to center. Took a return pass from a teammate. He has outstanding skating ability, Pete.
Derek Maguire looking for the chipping penalty. None called, as he just got his foot tangled up in a stick on the ice.
Right back to the Knolls zone. Here's Ramsey behind the net. Ramsey reverses for Mortensen. Mortensen tied up in the corner. Ramsey comes in with a hard check, and that's going to be, I believe, checking from behind, Pete.
That's right. Peter Ramsey's going to sit this one out. The Knolls player was face first into the boards, that Brian Albert, the junior, and from behind, Peter Ramsey came up, checked him into the boards, and for that, he will sit 2 minutes. We're going to take a look at the penalty in the corner. On the top part of your screen, you're going to see Peter Ramsey come in, and right there, as he runs the defenseman, Brian Albert, into the boards, that'll be the 2nd penalty of the game for Delbarton.
And of course, Knolls was 0 for 1 on their first opportunity of the game. So they get another shot at it and bring it in from center ice are the Golden Eagles. Knocked back out to the neutral zone. Kovacs comes way out to play it for his teammate, Gillanella. Tied up and loose in center, but racing back to pick it up are the Eagles, and Delbarton puts it right back in. Very tentative on this power play. Delbarton, Pete, appears to be pressing matters a little bit more.
Well, with both these teams, they're so potent offensively. Even though they're down a man, they can score, so you have to watch yourself at all times.
This is McKeon behind the cage. He'll almost come around the front, decided better of it, and he has Weiner behind the net, I believe that is. With Underwood, Bill Underwood set up in front. Shot, oh, I believe that grazed the left post. Gillanella behind the net, Maguire tied up. But he gets it out, left side, and out. Check that right wing, I should say.
What a nice play by Weiner. That time he outmuscled the defenseman in the corner, Jim Bruce, and was able to make the turn, and he just missed skipping the puck on the far side.
Bill Underwood has it to Weiner. Weiner works in the slot, shot, save in the air, wide of the net. That would have been a high stick, and it is, as Knolls touches up.
The puck was played with a stick above the height of 4 feet. The faceoff will come all the way back down in front of the Morris Knolls goaltender, John Kovacs. But again, nice play by Weiner. He waited in front, took a quick wrist shot. That time Jason Waite was able to make the first save, and the rebound was then struck with a high stick. A lot of pressure here by Morris Knolls.
Looks like they are definitely seeking to get that first goal tonight. They dropped down, I believe it was 3-1 to Delbarton in the game that they won the other night here in the playoffs.
That's right. They were trailing 3-1 and then came back to win it 4-3.
Off the draw in the Morris Knolls zone. It's picked up by Albert. Teams battle for it in the corner. It's loose. Albert will give chase. And he has it. Albert lugging the mail. Almost to center, he has it. To Zuckerman. Russ Zuckerman flips it in. Dybus on it for Morris Knolls. Mike Dybus chasing Maguire now. And he wins it from Maguire. It's loose. McCarter almost had a chance, but it flipped away from his stick. In the neutral zone. Dybus tried to flip it back in. It's cut off. This is Keene. Cut off. Ramsey just out of the box. 0 for 2. Oh, that flipped just over the cage. I think it was fortunate Holovac didn't get a piece of that. It might have gone in off his glove. Quick shot wide of the left post. That was Mortensen. Ramsey to Mortensen. Mortensen side of the net now. Back to Ramsey. Ramsey, Mortensen looking for it, but he didn't get it clean.
Watch the give and go by Delbarton. They tried it twice there. The pass goes into the corner, and then the other wing breaks right for the net. That time, the pass from Ramsey to Mortensen just missed the mark.
This is Mortensen again. Hard angle shot, score!
John Mortensen, the senior, his 26th goal of the year. A bullet shot from a poor angle, about 15 feet out on the right-hand side of John Kovacs. And I don't know where he found the opening, but he slipped it through. And we have a 1-0 lead for Delbarton halfway through the first period.
What a drive there from Mortensen. Hard angle shot. Here we have a replay.
Watch right there. He'll stop. Now look. Screen in front by Ramsey. Notice Ramsey jumping in the air, getting out of the way. Probably had John Kovacs blocked. He didn't see the puck well. Slipped by. Beautiful play all around.
Here's Mo Knolls. Weiner. Weiner flips it. Oh, just wide of the right post. They've come close again. So just after Morris Knolls went 0 for 2 on the power play, Delbarton comes right back to break the seal on this one. 1-0 Green Wave.
Morris Knolls has to keep the pressure on Delbarton. The more shots they have, the better the opportunity will be.
This is Falcone. Back to Bruce. It's blocked. Interference.
Looks like it's going to be against Morris Knolls. I believe Chris Stellato, the sophomore defenseman, Chris Stellato, will sit for 2 minutes. There we take a look at Paul McGinnis. People will remember Paul McGinnis a few years back. He refereed an NHL game when the NHL officials walked out, a double playoff game here at the Meadowlands. But right now it's Delbarton with their first power play of the evening.
Delbarton has 38 goals and 87 chances with the man advantage. Ramsey has 14 power play goals. Maguire and Mortensen 7 apiece. Morris Knolls an unbelievable penalty killing ratio, allowing just 73 man advantage goals and 80 times short. To the right point, Bruce. Flipped into the slot looking for Ramsey. No, it just went through his legs. Here's Ramsey trying for the slot, knocked out by Morris Knolls. Bruce. He'll wind it up from behind his own cage. Bruce into center. Knocks in. Holovac watches it go off the end boards. Back to the left point. Maguire, slot, shot, save, and Holovac has it.
That time, nice play by Derek Maguire to keep the puck in at the point. picked up the loose puck, skated into about 40 feet out, right in the slot. He was pressured, so was not able to wind up for the big slap shot, but did snap one off rather quickly, but right into the midsection of John Kovacs, and we'll have another face-off deep inside the Knolls end.
Left point, Maguire off that draw to Ramsey. Ramsey slot, slipped it along the ice, loose, and knocked out of there. And now the net comes off. The whistle had already blown.
Brian Keane, the defenseman for Knolls, really ran the player for Delbarton right into that post. I think it was Rich Falcone who took the brunt of that check right into the goal post. That's why the whistle stopped play, and they'll again face the puck off to the right of John Kovacs.
McCarter for Knolls. Mortensen for Delbarton. Off the draw, Ramsey. Sideboards for Delbarton. Left point, Maguire. Back to Ramsey. Along the ice, wide of the left post. Falcone getting some power play time to Mortensen. Back to Ramsey. Ramsey to Mortensen. Wanted to return it, I think, to Ramsey, but instead Mortensen again. Side of the net. Saved by Falcone. Loose. Oh, what a save by Kovacs. Possibly the defenseman, Pete.
The first save was by John Kovacs when he made the blocking save on the first shot by Falcone, but then it was the defenseman who made the second save. Outstanding.
Ramsey down the slot, shot, glove save. Loose and picked up by Weiner. Now it's a one-on-one. Gillinella with Bruce. Gillinella across the blue line. It's knocked off a stick by Bruce. Weiner goes for the cage. He's checked by Ramsey. Still loose in the zone. And now out to neutral ice. This is Maguire. Shot, glove save, and Kovacs will stop this right there. Actually, he gave the puck off. I thought he was going to glove it, but he didn't. Referee didn't want to let him keep it there. Power play is over now.
He tried to stop play, but the officials wouldn't allow him to do that. He was not being pressured. They made him play the puck.
Waite takes the long shot, leaves it for Bruce. Weiner keeps the pressure on. Weiner still bothering Mortensen. Still it's out to center. McKeon flips it back to the Delbarton side. Maguire with it now. Into center. That's Dirty. Dirty gets around one man. Works for the net. Flips it in front off the stick. Loose in the crease and cleared away by McKeon. Doing some good work at home there.
Very good work by the defenseman of Knolls. Goaltender John Kovacs has had to come up big a few times, and the help of the defenseman clearing the rebounds has been a big advantage to them.
Keane will give chase to the corner, along with Andy Marshall. And play stops right there.
Faceoff will go outside the zone, as it was a Delbarton player falling on the puck, causing the whistle. Pretty good game so far tonight, Glenn. Pretty much what we expected. Good up and down action, real good skating, excellent goaltending again on both sides, especially John Kovacs. He had to come up big a few times. The last time the sliding block on Rich Falcone was spectacular. Everybody in the building thought that was in.
I think Ramsey was trying to stick handle it. It was hugging the post, and he kept trying to stick handle it. He finally did, but the defenseman, I think, got the stick blade in there to knock it away. Neutral ice draw now. Won by Knolls. McCarter flips it further to center. Ramsey has it. And a hand pass. Yep. Referee's doing a pretty good job so far. Everything that's been a penalty has been a good one.
Absolutely. And when we get a chance, we'll show you some of the action. Here it is. Watch the give and go as they attempt it. That time, not possible. But you're going to see this. Watch right there. That's the save. And then Ramsey almost tucked it in, but a good play by Brian Albert knocked the puck off his stick. Good camera work by our crew.
Loose in center. McCarter now from Knolls. Sends it in. Waite stays right in the cage. Lets his defense do the work. Back for it is Crutchlow. He was tied up for the moment, but bring it out, Maguire. To Nelson. Nelson flips it to the cage. Save and no goal.
It was kicked in. It was kicked in. Eric Monroe right on the call. He saw it. They will not allow this one. That was kicked in. We saw it from our advantage point here.
And excellent call. I think actually Monroe was just about ready, even before the puck got there, to call it no goal.
I don't think there's any argument on that one. That was obvious.
And now the fans getting into it a little bit. Delbarton, of course, with their gangrene. Here's a nice look.
Watch the play. There's the first shot. Watch the left skate right there by John Mortensen as he kicked it with his left skate in. No argument. Good call by our official.
And a good try by Mortensen because he's a scorer. He knows how to make it look like a goal.
You try anything, Glenn. If it works, fine. If it doesn't, it's just a whistle.
Weiner through center for Morris Knolls. Gets the zone. Back to a chance for Knolls. Score! That was McKeon. What a play by Weiner, Pete.
Weiner makes the first move over the blue line, holds the puck, draws the defenseman to him, and then slips it to Steve McKeon, the senior. McKeon comes across, makes a beautiful move on Jason Waite, holding the puck to the last minute, and then backhanding one up over the fallen goaltender. And with just a minute 45 remaining here in the first period, we're tied at 1. We'll take a look at this replay. This one's outstanding. Right there, the backhand by the senior center, Steve McKeon. Poor Steve, that's his 29th goal of the year, and we're tied at 1.
Here's Weiner again. Over to a chance for Knolls, loose in the slot, shot, saved by Waite. What a stop that was. I think that was Weiner again.
Sure was.
Weiner still doing the magic act in the near side corner. It's loose, McKeon, and it's picked up by Delbarton. They'll try to skate it to center. They do. That's Mahoney. Flips a shot on net. Holovac easily handles it.
People say, why don't you hit Weiner? He's so small, but he's so quick, and his moves are so quick. You can't hit him.
Out comes Knolls. McKeon leaves it for McCarter. McCarter to the blue line. McCarter gets in, but he's taken out of the play nicely by Maguire.
That was a major league move by Derek Maguire. He waited for the winger to dump the puck ahead, and then using the stick just warded him off the play into the boards.
Mortensen to Ramsey. Ramsey loses it off his stick, still has it in the sideboards for the moment. Maguire left point. Shot, glove save by Holovac. How did he find it through that crowd?
A lot of activity in front. Derek Maguire letting the quick shot go from the point, but John Holovac with the quick right glove made the save. Holovac, unlike other goaltenders, is a left-handed goaltender. By that I mean he has his gauntlet, his catching hand on his right hand. Most goaltenders have it the other way. Watch, you're taking a look at the goaltender. Watch how quick his right hand is, right there, as he plucks the puck right out of the air.
Right off the draw, Morris Knolls takes it to center. They flip it in. Waite will stop it with his big goal stick and leave it for Maguire. Through center, Morris Knolls will pick it back up. Gillinella gives chase. Help from his goaltender. And for the Eagles, Gillinella tries to move it up ice. They do. That's Bill Underwood. He's pulled down. No call for the officials. I think he tried to milk that one.
No, I think they got lucky. That looked like a hook from here. An accidental hook as the stick got caught in the jersey, but nevertheless, he was pulled down from behind with the stick. I think Delbarton got away with one.
Shot for the left point, blocked down by some bodies in front. Mortensen gives chase. Eyed up by Bill Underwood. And Gillinella, I believe that is, will flip it over the end boards. But that's the end of the first period. 1-1 tie here from the William G. Mennen Sports Arena. We'll take a break on SCA TV3 Sports.
We'll never see eye to eye on anything.
Don't be so short-sighted. We can both see that space research benefits everyone.
Oh, like the scratch-proof lens developed for the Apollo space camera?
That same technology led to scratch-proof eyeglasses, sunglasses.
And even goggles.
You wouldn't need those if your horse was always in front.
That's a tall order.
What we're learning up there
is helping us all down here.
Space technology.
This is what's in it for you.
Glenn Cass, Pete Caggiano back at the William G. Mennen Sports Arena, almost ready for period number 2 of Delbarton and Morris Knolls of the Mennen Cup Final. But right now, let's go to Pete for a recap of the first period.
Thanks, Glenn. A very exciting first period. The score was opened up by Delbarton at the 8:31 mark when John Mortensen blasted a slap shot from a tough angle past the goaltender John Kovacs. The assist went to Peter Ramsey at the 8:31 mark, and a 1-0 lead for Delbarton. That did not stand up too long. About 5 minutes later, at the 13:15 mark of the first period, it was the senior Steve McKeon, his 29th goal of the year, on a beautiful pass from Ian Weiner to make a beautiful backhand move past a deked Jason Waite to tie the score, and we are deadlocked at 1. Shots on goal for the first period: Morris Knolls 7, Delbarton 11. Also 3 penalties called in the first period. Marshall for interference. Ramsey, Delbarton's second penalty. That one for checking from behind, and then Stellato from Morris Knolls sat 2 minutes, also for interference.
And that translates into 0 for 1 for Delbarton on the man advantage, 0 for 2 Morris Knolls with the power play. But ready for the second period, teams switch sides of the ice. Morris Knolls in the lighter colored jerseys going left to right. Delbarton in the darker jerseys going right to left. And we've played 15 minutes, Pete, and we haven't moved an inch, still deadlocked.
These two teams are probably the most evenly matched teams in the league.
Mortensen shot, oh boy, that just missed the left post. Kovacs thought that was gonna miss the net, I think by a little more, and he kind of watched it slide by the net.
He definitely nonchalanted that one, and it almost cost him.
Delbarton storming the Morris Knolls zone off the opening face, but Morris Knolls able to clear the pressure. Delbarton hammers it right back in. Peter Nelson did the honors. Mortensen meets it in the corner. Here's Ramsey. Ramsey working for the front. It's sticked away by Kovacs. And Gillinello working to the near side. Into center, McKeon, the goal scorer for Morris Knolls. Here's McKeon. He's offsides.
Steve McKeon, the senior, a second-team All-Star in the league this year, made the fatal mistake of putting a deke on right at the blue line and sent his teammate offsides.
Neutral ice draw will result. Taking it for Delbarton will be Matt Durney. Bill Underwood for Morris Knolls. It's a draw off the draw, but coming up with it is Morris Knolls. A shot sticked away, actually sticked up to the glove by Waite.
Waite taking no chances, holding on to the loose puck as it was bouncing right up around his chest. Smart play. Why take a chance of a rebound? Just hold on for the whistle.
The last time these teams met was the other night in the playoffs. Of course, Ian Weiner getting the winner from assists McKeon and Albert at 14:50 of the third period. McKeon had a pair of goals in that game, so he's got 3 goals his last 2 games against the Green Wave. And into center, Morris Knolls. Bruce takes it away for Delbarton. And there's a lot of blue line to blue line play right now. This is Delbarton flipping it on net. Kovacs stops it, gloves it.
That time John Kovacs taking a page out of Jason Waite's book, not taking any chances, easy shot, but still holding on for the whistle. Wants to make sure of the stoppage. You mentioned before the two teams playing tonight. Their first time they played was back in December, and Delbarton was a 4-0 victory over Morris Knolls. They played again at the end of December, and that time it was 4-1. Delbarton over Morris Knolls. In February, the margin was decreased to 3-1, and then of course just the other night, Morris Knolls with a 4-3 victory. So every time they've played, the pendulum has swung the other way a little more. Will tonight be the night it goes all the way to the other side?
Rich Falcone taking the draw here for Delbarton. It's tied up along the boards. Fighting for it was Chris Loudon, but Morris Knolls brings it out. That's McKeon, I believe it was. Maguire takes it for the Green Wave. Tried to flip it to center. It's cut off by Weiner. Loose. Recontrolled by Ramsey of Delbarton. Checking that was Maguire. And he flipped it in. He'll retreat back to the right point. Gillinello will take it for Morris Knolls. Motoring to the center ice area. Firing it in for the red line, gloved by Waite. Dropping it off, leaving it for Crutchlow. Into center, Falcone. Over to Burry. Burry is knocked down, and to the delight of the Morris Knolls fans, and the Golden Eagles in center.
That was Rob Gianello with that big check. Perfectly applied. Took the Delbarton player not only off the puck, but off his feet.
This is Ramsey, one-on-one. Shot. Breadbasket stopped there by Holovac. Falcone leaves it for Crutchlow. He's tied up by 3 players, still manages to get it deeper to Falcone. But it's put back out by the Golden Eagles. To center, Dybus almost had it on his stick. Maguire instead will give chase for the Green Wave. Leaving it for Crutchlow. Crutchlow knocks it to center for Mortensen. Mortensen along with Loudon. Mortensen over the blue line. And it's knocked away. This is Ramsey, just wide of the left post. Knocked down in front and still shaken up is Nelson. He's slow to get up, and I believe there's a penalty upcoming.
That's a delayed icing that'll now be called as the puck crosses over the goal line.
Okay, it was misunderstood there. He had the arm up. I thought they might have gotten a penalty there as Nelson was demolished in the slot area. He was slow to get up.
This is high school ice hockey. The officiating system is a 2-man system. Both officials have the duties of calling infractions as well as penalties. And the way they distinguish, when there is a penalty, they will point at the offending player. When there's an infraction, such as an offsides or an icing, they will raise their arm in a manner to indicate that infraction.
Morris Knolls, the draw in their own zone. Albert has it to the far side. It's cut off by Delbarton's Kevin Mahoney. The Eagles trying to move it out. It's off the stick of Ramsey and out of play.
Delbarton coming out strong here in the beginning of the second period, much as they did in the beginning of the game, putting a lot of pressure on the goaltender, John Holovac.
Morris Knolls, as we mentioned, are 2-0 in the playoffs. They defeated Chatham in their first game, 9-2, the 4-3 win over Delbarton, and they got the day off into this Mennen Cup final. Delbarton, both their wins came against Morristown Beard, 8-1 and 5-4 the other night. Of course, the loss to Mo Knolls. Ramsey off that draw in the Eagle zone. Tried to play for Mortensen behind the net, but it's cut off. Loose, and Mortensen, I believe, in the corner, tried to play it out front. No. It was actually Nelson. Center ice play now. Dawes has it go off his stick. It's loose. This is Nelson. Shot wide of the net. Penalty upcoming.
I think it's going to be a hook. Yes, it is. That time a lapse in the defensive zone by Morris Knolls allowed Delbarton's Peter Nelson to walk in all alone. We'll take a look at this replay. Watch right there. That's Nelson come in, and he's hooked as he takes the shot. And because of that, a penalty is issued to number 13, Bob Gianella. And again, Delbarton will go on the power play with 11 minutes and 6 seconds remaining here in the second period.
Delbarton 0 for 1 on the man advantage tonight. They'd like to get one here. Mortensen will take the draw. And he takes it right on net, but it's stopped easily by Holovac. This is Ramsey now. Ramsey with Mortensen to his right. Mortensen will work for the slot. Ramsey still hanging on to it. Ramsey to Mortensen, back to Ramsey. That give and go was cut off. They continue to try to make that play. Here's Ramsey, shot, save up on the arm, and knocked away by the defense. Loose in the Morris Knolls zone. Ramsey to Mortensen. Mortensen alone has it cut off. Ramsey shot loose in the crease and knocked away by Holovac. And to center.
That time Rich Falcone parked on the left post, whacked at the bouncing puck, but again, John Holovac came up with a big save.
Left point, Maguire. Throws it down deep to Falcone, who's getting a lot of ice time tonight. Leaves it for Mortensen. Mortensen to the slot, back to Falcone. He can't handle it, but he gets it back. Falcone in the near circle. To the slot. Falcone backhander, saved by Holovac, and he stopped play.
What a battle in front. These guys are going at it head to head. Brian Albert, the junior defenseman, and Peter Ramsey, the senior for Delbarton, battling in front, hitting each other. We're going to take a look at the save by John Kovacs. Watch, you see the two guys in front as they're hugging each other. Now the backhand, and a great save on Rich Falcone's shot.
Once again, that right-handed catching glove serves him well, as he was able to get it in front of the net on that shot, where other goalies it would have been probably a goal.
Well, it would have been the blocker, which would have given up a rebound and possibly another shot.
Falcone looking for help, gives it to Mortensen. Mortensen behind the net now. Mortensen still with the puck. He'll take it to the slot. He was looking for Falcone on the return, but nothing doing. Still, Delbarton keeps it in. This is Ramsey. Ramsey near side. Still with the puck in front. Mortensen shot. Save! Actually, it hit the right post. Kovacs never saw it. It got past him, and the rebound is clear to the crowd.
That time, John Kovacs, I think he was a little lucky. I'm not sure if the puck was by him, if it hit the post, or he got a piece of it, but he certainly did not know where it was. And then good work by his defensive crew just to knock the puck out of the zone and to get a whistle to slow this play down. Just 22 seconds remaining in the penalty to Bob Gianella. The question is, though, good pressure here by Delbarton. They've had a few good opportunities. How much longer can Morris Knolls keep this up?
Off the draw, it's knocked to center. Maguire will have to give chase. Weiner knocks it away for the moment, but he can't handle it. Falcone will follow it to center, but the Eagles keep it there. Bruce, near side for Ramsey. Ramsey through the slot. Mortensen will have to handle on the far side. Mortensen still eyeing things up now. Penalty is over. Into the slot, Bruce coming in from the point. Knocked away, and the Eagles try to move it to center. They can't. Ramsey keeps it in to Mortensen. He's slammed to the boards. Loose play now along the near side. Still loose there in the Morris Knolls zone.
A lot of action in that corner. Bodies flying all over.
Bruce. Another defensive miscue, but this time the Eagles get away with it. Weiner from center tried to tee it up. Still got it in the net. It's actually in the net, sorry. Still got it in the zone. Bruce for Delbarton. Wanted to find a teammate, couldn't. And actually offsides, I believe, Pete.
I'm not sure what the call is. Our official Paul McGinnis is going over to the scorer's table.
Could this be too many men on the ice, maybe?
It certainly looks that way.
Either that or it's on the goaltender. Too many men on the ice, we hear from Paul Pearson, Executive Secretary of the Morris County Secondary Schools Ice Hockey League, who also handles the PA chores here.
And it looks like Gordon White, the sophomore, will sit the 2 minutes for Morris Knolls bench minor.
Comes at 8:15 to go in the second. So too many men.
Now here's a strange coincidence. Delbarton taking their timeout now. I guess they feel with the game just a little under halfway over, this is a critical time for them. They have a power play that scores tied. Still 8:15 remaining, and this is only the second period. They're calling a timeout now.
So far, they are 0 for 2 with the man advantage. This will be their third attempt.
There we take a look at number 14, Brian Albert, the junior, the assistant captain. Albert this year with 8 goals, 12 assists for 20 points.
Put us on the benches, Pete. Obviously, it's an unusual timeout, but what do you think each coach is telling their players?
I'm surprised Delbarton took their timeout so early in the game. I thought they would use it later in the game to rest their players when they want them on for a good 3 minutes straight. The strategy I'm sure they're trying to execute right now will be that same give and go they pull with Ramsey in the corner, giving and going with either John Mortensen or Peter Nelson, or again look for Derek Maguire to crash in from the point to get the pass from the corner and snap a quick wrist shot high over the shoulder of John Kovacs.
And I guess the coach, Jim Brady of Delbarton, decided maybe to call it now. They had good pressure on the last power play, but just misfired a couple of times. Again, as you mentioned, with that give and go play between Mortensen and Ramsey. This is Ramsey now for the Green Wave. Drops it back left point. Maguire shot, blocked in front. Eagles to center ice. And there's a player down for Knolls.
That's Bob Giulianella. I think he hit that shot from Maguire, hit him somewhere in the leg or ankle area, and he's hurt. This would be a major loss if he's not able to play.
And it seems like maybe that, well, I thought the left skate for a moment because it was curled up.
Well, they're definitely working on his legs. I'm not sure if it's his right or left one.
And now the fans getting into it a little bit. We have a great crowd on hand here. It's a real credit to the outstanding play in this Morris County Hockey League.
There you take a look at Derek Maguire, the senior, 34 goals, 36 assists, 70 points this year, as he talks to official Eric Monroe.
And there is the gangrene of Delbarton. They really get into it during football season. They throw members of their cheering section down over their shoulders as each touchdown is scored. And here's Maguire again. Still down is Giulianella, and we're definitely sure we can see the 3 now on his jersey. 1-3 is his number.
That's Coach John Kovacs, who has done an outstanding job at Knolls this year, leaning over, trying to give any help he might be able to administer. And now he's getting up slowly.
Also out there is assistant coach Dave Cullen. An outstanding job by Knolls this season. They hope this is just the first of many exciting things to come. They are one of the top-rated teams in the upcoming state tournament.
I believe their first game is Monday here at the arena, the second round of the state tournament. They drew a bye in the first round.
They're also ranked 10th in the state, according to the latest hockey poll out, while Delbarton is the #1 rated team in the state.
Those ratings came out before Delbarton's lost to Morris Knolls the other night.
And I would think if Knolls pulls the trick again, that could change them further.
Absolutely.
Delbarton moving into the Eagles zone now. Back to the left point, Maguire. Mortensen shot wide of the right post. He just cut it a little too fine. Out to center. This is Knolls, short-handed. Into the slot, wanted McCarter, but he couldn't quite handle it. Delbarton to center. With it is Mortensen. Mortensen works his way in. He's pressed to the boards and he leaves it back at just past Bruce at the top of the slot and back to center. Bruce near side to Ramsey. Ramsey cut off, but here's Maguire. Shot off the post. No, is it in? It's a goal.
That's a very tight net. The puck went in and out very quick, but there was that slap shot over the shoulder. Derek Maguire taking control again. And now with just 7:13 remaining here in the second period, a 2-0 lead, 2-1 lead for Delbarton.
And it is a power play goal for Delbarton. So Maguire.
Not much that fella right there can do. We'll take a look at it. Watch the slap shot. From this angle, it looked like it hit the post, but no argument from anyone else. They said it hit the back of the twine and came out. The nets here are very taut. The puck enters and exits very quickly.
So Delbarton has regained an advantage, 2-1 on the board. And they are now 1 for 3 on the man advantage. Through center now, flipped back in by the Green Wave. That was Bernie. Check that, Matt Durney. Delbarton trying to play it in center. This is Maguire. Near side has his defense line mate Crutchlow. Durney now. Durney trying to work around Giulianella, who's back on the ice already. Giulianella flips it up to the far side. Maguire thought to pinch in for a moment, but he decided not to. Puck loose in center. Delbarton takes it back. Flipping it in was Andy Marshall. But it's an aimless pass cross ice, and Giulianella was there. Giulianella there again in center. and it'll work its way to the green wave zone.
Play a little ragged right now in center ice as both teams are just trading passes back and forth. Nobody sustaining any real pressure.
This is Falcone after the steal from Stellato. Can't handle it. And coming back to help out is McKeon with Stellato. Stellato works it to the boards. And taken out by Knolls. With it is Bill Underwood. Runs into his own teammate. Bill Underwood still able to flip it a little further along, but back for it is Stellato. Off of the arms of Underwood, and McCarter gives chase with Maguire. Loose in the Delbarton zone. Mike Crutchlow is there for the green wave. Crutchlow bothered by two men, Dybus and McCarter. Stopped almost by Bill Underwood. This instead is Chris Burry. Shot, glove save. Brian Albert tried to flip it out. Still with it. Actually, he's handed it off now. No, it is Albert. Only to center ice, though, as it's brought right back in. Hollaback has trouble behind the net, but therefore it is Brian Keenan, I believe. Penalty?
Nope, the net moved.
Okay.
As the player skated by John Kovacs, the net was knocked off its post, and for that they'll stop the play and put the puck on the dot.
I thought they might call that one a little tight as the stick had gotten in there a little bit from Hollaback, accidentally though, but I saw the whistle go at the same time and didn't see the net move, so. Off the draw in the Morris Knolls zone. Hard shot from Ramsey is saved somehow by Hollaback through that screen. This is Knolls trying to work it out. They will. Dybus almost to center but not out. Ramsey kept it in. Knolls knocks it off the boards. It's loose. Bill Underwood tied up. Ramsey takes it back. In front, Mortensen. He's knocked down actually by himself as he was angling over on his blades and he lost his edge. Ramsey, go ahead, Pete.
A lot of pressure here by Delbarton.
This is McCarter. Offside. Underwood, Bill Underwood, tried to hold the blue line with the back foot, but he couldn't straddle it and keep the play from going offside.
Well, that's because Peter Ramsey helped him over the line. Many times when wingers are back checking like that and a player's trying to hold the line, what they'll do is just nudge him or ease him over the line just a half a stride ahead of time, and it's exactly what you saw there, causing the offsides.
It's incredible, Pete. The goal from Maguire tonight, almost a carbon copy of his winner the other night against Morristown Beard. Surprising the goaltender with that powerful shot just over the blue line.
And we have another offsides here.
And as you mentioned, play slowing down a bit now after that goal. Matter of fact, the goal is probably the most frenetic action we had of the period so far. Delbarton finally clicked. They had 2 power plays in a row, and that second one did the trick, just a minute 2 into their man advantage.
It'll be a real test here for Morris Knolls. We'll see how they rebound from this.
In on net, Waite makes the stop. It's loose along the far side. There's Ian Weiner. He's going to try and pull his team back into it. Still loose. Maguire flips it, or check that, that's Durney. He flipped it to center. Giving chase Stellato. Back to Gillanella. Couldn't stop it from going in. This is Durney. Durney, slot shot. Stopped by the defenseman Stellato.
Excellent defensive play by Chris Stellato, the sophomore, as he went down on his pads to make that save, never reaching the goaltender John Hollaback.
Weiner dumps it through center. Giving chase is Loudon. And Jim Brady using his bench a little more tonight, Pete. We didn't see quite as many of these guys the other night. Kind of kept it to the same crew all night. Loose in the Delbarton zone. Still tied up along the boards. Keene tried to keep it in but couldn't. Dybus will foul it back to his side of the ice. Morris Knolls 1. Delbarton has the 2-1 lead. Bruce behind his own cage. Bruce throws it near side. It's worked to center. That's Falcone. Falcone is hooked from behind by McCarter, and that's enough to keep him from continuing the play. This is check that. I'm sorry. It's Albert. Loose along the near side, and I believe offsides.
Again, the same thing. That time Davis could not keep his back foot on the line as he was just nudged a little bit by the junior Chris Berry, causing another offsides by Morris Knolls. Good defensive work by the wingers coming back for Delbarton.
And still, as we mentioned, 2-1 Delbarton. The goal by Maguire is the lead goal right now. 2:19 to go in the second period. Weiner off the draw, knocks it deep. Hard check thrown behind the boards. Stopped at the left point by Morris Knolls. Weiner's shot, and I didn't even see that as it caromed off to the corner. Here's Dawes. Tried to find Weiner. The pass was a little too hot to him. Weiner follows through. Tried to play the puck to himself there for a moment. Weiner again, he's knocked down. Still back to the left point now. This is Albert. Look for Weiner. Albert again, couldn't handle the bouncing puck at the left point. This is Delbarton. The green wave moved to center. Ramsey has it just elude him at center. Bruce, almost taken away by Dawes. And a whistle.
Now we are going to have a penalty. It's going to be a hold. Looks to be on Delbarton.
And it looks like Jim Bruce is going to the box. He is.
Jim Bruce, the sophomore, a second-team All-Star this year. Racked up 6 goals and 10 assists for 16 points. And with 1:27 remaining here in the second period, he'll put his team down for 2 minutes.
And already Mo Knolls is 0 for 2 tonight. And they would like to get the power play goal late. That could help them going into the break in between second and third period. But back to center. They'll have to restart. This is Albert. Flipped off a stick, and it's a field goal if we were playing football, but instead just out of play here.
Well, it did go directly over the pipe, right out of the play.
And that will get the face-off outside the Delbarton defensive zone, so they like that. Jim Bruce, 2 minutes for holding. And third power play chance for Mo Knolls. And they really need a goal here to try to maybe tie this game up, at least get some pressure to carry over to the next period, Pete. Weiner leaves it for McKeon. McKeon shot over the net. It was tipped by defense, I believe.
Absolutely. I think that shot was ticketed for the upper corner, but a little deflection stopped it.
Loose in front, shot blocked again. Albert will have another try at it. He knocks it to McKeon. Back to Bill Underwood. In front, score! Oh. There's the tire!
What a pass from Underwood to Weiner as he was parked all alone to the right of Jason Waite. Nobody touched him. He slipped the puck home, and we're tied at 2 with just 45 seconds remaining here in the second period. What pass work! You couldn't diagram it any better on a chalkboard. The pass from the corner.
That was outstanding. And so that'll make Mo Knolls.
Watch on the upper left-hand side. Watch Ian park himself right there. Watch as the puck comes through. Bingo right there. He one-times it into the open net. And for Ian Weiner, that's his 36th goal of the season.
Weiner, from about as sharp as angle as Mortenson's goal was in the first period for Delbarton, it's the same thing. We're under a minute to go, almost to the half-minute mark left. Mo Knolls would like more, but they'll be content to have the tie. Gillanella stopped it in center. Maguire is tied up there. Loose at the blue line. Gillanella presses Maguire, and play stops with 23 seconds to go. Weiner with the power play goal. Each team now 1 for 3 on the man advantage, and we are dead level again at 2 apiece.
I said earlier, these are the 2 best matched teams in the league, and we're seeing it again tonight.
Boy, you know, talking to Coach Kovacs of Morris Knolls on the phone the other night, a conversation I had in preparation for the game. We'll get to that. Here's Ramsey on net, off the post! It hit the right post! It went through the legs of Holovec, and now he's getting lucky and good, Holovec.
Well, his best friend, the post, stopped that puck, and then he just missed on the rebound, Peter Ramsey.
This is Maguire now, looking in on net. It's stopped. Knocked to center, and that's it. We played 30 minutes, and we're still haven't moved an inch. 2-2 tie. We'll take a break and be back with the recap of this second period. You're watching the Mennen Cup on SCA TV3.
To myself, what a wonderful world.
If you're not recycling, you're throwing it all away.
Cass back here at the Mennen Arena in Morris Township. We have an exciting Morris Cup, Mennen Cup final going on. Delbarton and Knolls are deadlocked at 2 apiece. Now, before tonight's game, my colleague Pete Caggiano had a chance to talk to Paul Pearson, the Secretary-Treasurer of the Morris County Secondary Schools Hockey League. Here's what each of them had to say. Cass, along with Pete Caggiano, back here at the William G. Mennen Sports Arena, entering the third period of tonight's Mennen Cup hockey final. They ended the first period tied. They ended the second tied. Here to tell us about it is Pete.
Well, Glenn, they ended the second period tied, but I tell you, there was a situation right at the end of that second period where Delbarton almost scored their third goal. If we can take a look at that, you're going to see right from the face-off, that's Peter Ramsey come in. The shot hits the post, and then he just flips the rebound wide, and then a clearing shot there by Knolls to take the pressure off. But Delbarton almost took the lead right there. In the second period, we had 2 goals, 1 for each team. At the 7:47 mark, it was Derek Maguire, the All-Stater, scoring from Ramsey and Mortensen for Maguire. That was his 35th goal of the year. And then at the 14:15 mark, Ian Weiner, again putting the hex on Delbarton, scored on a pass, a beautiful pass from Underwood and McKeon, tying the score up at 2. Shots on goal for the second period. Knolls 5, Delbarton 10. Total of 12 for Knolls and 21 for Delbarton. Again, 3 penalties in the second period. It was Giulianella for a hook. White served the 2-minute man in the ice penalty for Knolls. And then it was the sophomore Jim Bruce for Delbarton sitting 2 minutes for holding.
And Pete, these teams are tied in just about every facet of the game tonight except shots. They are both 1 for 3 on the power play. Could the man advantage have something to do with the climax of this game?
Well, the penalties have been even. I don't see the penalties affecting here in the third period. We have 2 veteran officials. I'm sure the penalty will have to be obvious and take away a scoring opportunity if it's going to be called.
And we say the third period could be an entree to more, possibly.
Absolutely. This is an overtime game. They will play a sudden death overtime if we finish this period deadlocked.
And as we mentioned before, Delbarton wins or ties, they share the title. If Knolls wins, they win it outright for the first time in school history. Off the draw, once again they've switched sides of the ice now. Delbarton will move left to right in the darker jerseys. Knolls right to left in white. And Maguire with it for Delbarton. Moves through center. Maguire stopped short. His players are offside, so he'll just flip it in to get things moving. Loose inside the Knolls zone. It's up in the air and over the glass. So a tentative beginning to this third period. Where do you see the edge lying here right now?
I see the edge on neither side. Both teams can take advantage of the smallest mistake by the other side. Both teams have tremendous scores. Ian Weiner, 36 goals. Steve McKeon, 29 goals. You look at Delbarton's side, you have John Mortensen with 26, Ramsey 36, Maguire 35. Anybody at any point can put the puck in the net.
Off the draw, right point, shot just wide. I believe the goaltender might have gotten a piece. This is Crutchlow jumping it in. Loose behind the net. Stellato tried to play it out. It's still loose in the Mono zone. Stellato again to Bill Underwood, but it gets past him. Delbarton will keep up the pressure. Durney drops it behind the net, has it to a teammate there, but Stellato gets to it and knocks it to center. And as I started to tell the story before, when Ramsey came in with that dinger off the post, coach of Knolls, Coach Kovacs, said his team is very confident coming into this game. He says they look around the room at each other and they believe in one another. There's no doubt in the room that Delbarton can be beaten again. And that's an important psychological edge, I think. Here's Weiner now. Weiner moving around men in the zone. He's still on his skates. Weiner dumps it in deep. Underwood had stopped there behind the net, so play broke down a little bit. This is Mortensen, but he can't get it out. Now, his teammate, Andy Marshall, does.
And it's icing on Delbarton as the good pressure put on by Morris Knolls. The line of Weiner, McKeon, and Dawes putting pressure on the goaltender, Jason Waite, forcing the puck down into the zone, and Delbarton forced to ice the puck to relieve that pressure.
McKeon and Mortensen, opposite threes. McKeon wins it. Weiner puts it on net, but weakly, and it goes wide. McKeon follows off the draw. Back left point, Gillanella. Flips it toward the slot. That was Dawes, but he couldn't handle it. It comes loose. This is Mortensen. In center to Nelson. Nelson shot. Sticked away by Holovac. Mortensen gives chase. Nelson follows, but it goes by him. Inside the Mono zone now. Nelson in front. Ramsey shot wide. Ramsey had set up, but the pass was just a little off the mark. And a penalty, I believe, Pete.
It's going to be an interference penalty on Morris Knolls.
McKeon.
Seems like McKeon bumped Peter Ramsey a little early on that shot, and that's why Ramsey did not get all the wood on the shot.
So, with 12:38 to go, Delbarton to the power play. They are 1 for 3 in the game so far, and they have a potent man advantage situation. They've already scored, as I said, once tonight, and they've had pressure on their last two. Maguire left point, score! Delbarton, just after I said it, they scored on the power play.
You notice the shot by Derek Maguire was not particularly hard. He kept it low right on the ice. I'm not sure if it was deflected in or not. It came from about 55 feet out. It didn't seem as if John Holovac had a good look at it. The puck skimmed all the way through and beat him low on the stick side.
So, 2 for 4 now, Delbarton on the power play. Didn't take long, just 5 seconds. And it's 3-2 Delbarton.
We'll take a look at this replay. Watch right there as the shot comes in. No, that just beat him cleanly. I think Holovac was expecting a deflection. The puck slipped all the way through, and for Maguire, the senior, that is his 36th goal, second of the evening.
Looking in front was Mortensen, but he couldn't get it, and Monos will have to wind it up again, but this is Ramsey. Ramsey shot, glove save, Holovac will clear it, and his defense will help get it the rest of the way. This is Bill Underwood through center. Underwood moving across the blue line. And Mortensen, and I can't see who that is from Knolls, but Carter, tied up. They were giving each other the stick, and they're going to take both of them.
Absolutely, they're both going to go. McCarter was trying to get into the play, and John Mortensen, with his back to the player, was holding on to his stick, not allowing him to get into the play. If you notice the young lady opening the penalty box door there, that is Sue Leach from Morris Hills High School. She's been very helpful to us throughout the telecast this evening, supplying us with these statistics between periods. Thank you very much, Sue.
And McCarter goes into the box, as I mentioned, for Knolls. 12:08 to go in the period. Those will be matching.
But what this does do, it opens up the ice. There's a lot more room for the 8 skaters out there now.
And that might advantage Morris Knolls. We'll see. Could advantage Delbarton. As you mentioned, they're so potent offensively that anything could happen right now. Durney in center. Has it taken away by Albert. Albert from Knolls. Knocks it in. On net, actually wide of the net, right side. Underwood lets it go back to the right point. Weiner puts it on net. Waite will glove it. And some more pushing and shoving in front. They'll break this up. To be exact, McCarter got 2 minutes for interference at 12:08 remaining in the third period. And Mortensen got 2 minutes for holding at that same time. Matching minors, they skate four-side. Weiner and Nelson.
Watch the sticks there on the ice. Watch how they're jockeying for position, trying to get the advantage from the other player.
Weiner got it. Gillanella shot loose in front as it was tipped by a defenseman, and it was cleared away by Delbarton. Bruce to Maguire. This is Nelson. Nelson to Ramsey. Ramsey knocked off the play. Nelson tried to play it to the net, but getting back for it was Gillanella, who hasn't shown any effects of that shot he took to the leg in the first period. This is Gillanella. Has it knocked away. Underwood tried to play it, but instead it's Maguire. Maguire working in, shot, save by Holovac. That was a big stop, Pete.
Absolutely, Maguire taking advantage of all the open ice.
Here's Maguire again, shot, save again by Holovac, and he gets out of there.
2 identical plays where Maguire picked up the loose puck, skated into about 40 feet out, let a quick wrist shot go. That fella is so strong, he doesn't have to wind up for the slap shot. His wrist shots are harder than most players' slap shots, but twice John Holovac came up big, and the last time he held on for the whistle.
48 seconds to go on the matching minor penalties. And here's a replay.
Watch the goaltender right there. You're going to see how quick his right hand is right there, and then he holds on.
Off the draw, far side. This is Andy Marshall. Tried to play in, it's Weiner. Pulled down, call coming up. Good job by Weiner, Pete.
He is so quick on his skates. He actually had the player beat. Andy Marshall was beaten on the play. He had no other alternative but to hook him down. The senior Andy Marshall will sit 2 minutes for hooking, and now they will skate a 4-on-3 advantage. A lot of open ice.
10:46 to go, third period. 1 for 3. Knolls with the power play tonight. And now a big opportunity for Morris Knolls. 4-on-3 skating advantage. That will now give, I think, an advantage to the smaller, faster skaters from Knolls. And here's Gillanella. He'll drive it in. It's off the leg of Maguire. Picked up by Knolls and sent in. Sent right back out. Holovac.
I don't think dump and chase is the style to go right now with the advantage 4-on-3 in manpower. Carry over the line as you see there, and then try to make the play.
Here's Weiner. Oh, tried to bank it off a skate, I think, of Maguire. A shot is blocked. Another shot is saved by Waite. Ooh, and Weiner came into the stick to the glove. I don't know if that was such a good move by Weiner. I wouldn't want to wake up a sleeping giant.
Absolutely not. That was not a smart play. He's lucky he did not get a penalty for either slashing or playing the puck after the whistle. That particular type of play is definitely frowned upon by the officials.
It's now, I thought it was going to be a 5-on-3. No, the penalty still has 4 seconds to go, the matching minors. And then it will be a standard 5-on-4 chance. This is Weiner. Weiner wins the draw back to Gillanella. Gillanella shooting, blocked by Ramsey. I think Gillanella waited a little too long to get that one away, and it was blocked by Ramsey. McCarter gets it through one man. Here's Weiner now. Weiner trying to work in front. It's knocked away by the defense. Player pulled down for Delbarton. No call, and knocked the length of the ice. Of course, no icing. Not only does Holovac touch it, but it's a power play for Morris Knolls, which has 47 seconds to run. And it's knocked back into the Monol zone. With it is, Brian Albert. He loses it, but he's able to play it. Gillanella comes down to help out, and they get it to center. Maguire knocks it in. 26 seconds to go on the power play for Knolls.
Glenn, there's 9 minutes remaining here in the third period. Don't be surprised if Derek Maguire plays all 9 minutes.
Bill Underwood shot wide of the net. McKeon tries to crash for the rebound. It's loose. This is Dybus. In front. Oh, he almost had Bill Underwood. Gillanella left point shot. Stop. Sliding stop by a defenseman. This is McKeon now. McKeon tries to work in. Works to the corner now. Tried to look in front. This is Gillanella. Point shot knocked away. This is Marshall. Chris Marshall pulled down. And a penalty upcoming.
A penalty shot.
And a good call there.
Absolutely. Chris Marshall, the senior, was going in all alone on the right side. And from behind, I believe it was Brian Albert, the junior defenseman, pulled him down. And there will be a penalty shot issued to the senior Chris Marshall.
Okay, now, I don't know. Pete, you can help me here. Do they get to choose? Here's the call.
Nope, they don't get to choose there. You saw what happened right after he was taken down as both players slid into the boards. What happens is this penalty shot will be taken by Chris Marshall. If he is injured and unable to take it, the team has a choice of anyone who was on the ice at that time.
Gillanella arguing the call, but frankly, I don't think you can see any clearer example of what a penalty shot looks like.
The rule says if the man is going directly at the goaltender and no one between him and the goaltender, and he is taken down from behind and is denied a reasonable scoring opportunity, you will issue a penalty shot. It is set up that way to recreate the situation that was eradicated by the infraction.
And even though you say recreate, it's interesting because the goaltender usually wins 2 out of every 3 of these confrontations.
Absolutely. The odds are with the goaltender, he will make the save.
Well, folks, you are going to get the chance to see one of the rare happenings in hockey. You don't see this a lot because you don't usually see as clear a breakaway chance taken away. But this is a penalty shot, and frankly, for my money, it's probably one of the more exciting things in sports. Penalty shot coming with 8:29 to go in the third.
This could be the icing on the cake for Delbarton.
All right. Chris Marshall will be able to take it. He's being instructed by Eric Monroe. I'm not going to say much, folks, because, as they say, a picture says 1,000 words. Marshall, Holovac, here we go. Save! What a stop by Holovac! And that could be the turning point in Morris Knolls' direction.
The senior goaltender, John Holovac, stood his ground. As Chris Marshall came in, he did not try to deke. He tried to pick a corner, and the big right pad of John Holovac made the save. Watch the replay on this one. You see the shot come right there, and there's the right save, the right pad save. Even though Chris Marshall tried to put the rebound in, it would not have counted. You only get one shot. You do not get a rebound or a second chance on the play. Outstanding save by John Holovac.
Now, Gillanella, I believe, actually, or is it Albert that did the penalty? Someone is in the penalty box for Monoles.
He still has to sit the 2 minutes. The team is not down a man for that time. It turns into a 2-minute misconduct. The first whistle after 2 minutes, he will be allowed out of the box and to rejoin the team.
So, Monoles has Albert off the ice, even though, as Pete mentioned, I should say, no man disadvantage. Shot sticked away as Ramsey got a soft shot on net. This is Ramsey again. Playing it behind the cage. Delbarton's Nelson tries to play it to a teammate. Mortensen has it. Behind the net, Ramsey. Ramsey, his big frame controlling the disc right now. And it's knocked away. Monoles will try to clear. And get it back to the left point. They do, but it's stopped there by Delbarton and now to center. Kovacs stops it behind his own cage. Coming in there was Nelson. Picked up by Monoles, they'll bring it to center. Knocked in. Waite will watch it go behind the cage. Ramsey has it. McCarter bothers him. But Maguire able to move away. Through center. Penalty. Here's another swing, Pete.
That's right. This one's going to be a charge on Delbarton. And just to share a thought with the penalty shot before, actually that worked out to Morris Knolls' favor only because Delbarton is so potent on the power play. And the odds of the goaltender stopping the penalty shot is greater than the shooter's odds. It was actually worked out into Morris Knolls' favor. Now Morris Knolls will take their timeout as they realize how big this power play is with just 7:20 remaining here in the third period and trailing by a goal.
And charging is the call on number 15, Andy Marshall of Delbarton. 3-2 Delbarton. Third period here. Excuse me, pardon me. Glenn Cass, Pete Caggiano from the Mennen Arena. We're glad you've joined us for this Mennen Cup final.
There's our two officials, Paul McGinnis on the right of your screen and Eric Monroe on the left of your screen. That's still Bob Gianella in the penalty box. He must sit the remaining time, even though they're not down a man.
Fifth try on the power play for Monoles. They are 1 for 4 tonight. And I said it before, they needed one at the end of the second. They got it. They need one now on the power play. They're going to have to get it just to tie this game up.
Well, again, they're going with a big line of Weiner, McKeon, and Dawes. On the back post, it'll be Chris Stellato. And it looks like the other defenseman will be the junior Brian Albert.
Off the draw, Weiner gives chase. McKeon had it stopped by Mortensen and tried to knock it out. Still in the Delbarton zone. Bruce is pressured by Weiner. Weiner has it now. Right point. Back to Weiner now. Weiner tried to play it past Bruce, nothing doing. Stopped at the far side boards. Mortensen trying desperately to clear it, he can't. This time Bruce will. Holovac plays it. Leaves it for Stellato. Through center, Bruce picks it up for Delbarton. Knocks it in. 6:40 to go, third period. Steve McKeon tries to handle it. Instead, this is Brian Albert, who's now out of the box. Here's Albert. Still loose. Weiner tried to get to it, no.
Delbarton doing an excellent job here, not allowing Morris Knolls to set up in the zone. We're already a minute through the penalty and no shots on goal for Morris Knolls.
Here's Weiner now. Weiner trying to work his way through. Almost got through. Instead, he has possession of the puck. Had Stellato for a moment in the slot, but didn't choose to go to him. Now this is Weiner again. Watched by Bruce. Tied up by Bruce. Coming in is McKeon. McKeon slides down on the checking of Bruce. And And McKeon's still with it in the slot at it, knocked away by Bruce. Bruce doing yeoman work here.
Excellent play by the defenseman, sophomore Jim Bruce, a second-team All-Star. That time McKeon held the puck a little too long, and Jim Bruce was able to knock it away and clear it down the ice.
In center, Bill Underwood throws it in. Delbarton will try to throw it right back out. They do. Kovacs way out of his net. Almost the end of the power play chance. 1 second. That's it. 5:20 to go, third period. 3-2 Delbarton. Here's a steal by Ramsey. Ramsey moving in, backhander over the net. Pushed wide nicely by the defense.
That time Peter Ramsey using his big reach to poke the puck away from the defenseman of Morris Knolls and walk in on that left side.
This is Weiner. Shot from the right point is stopped by Waite. And he leaves it off for Maguire. 1 for 5 now. Delbarton, or I should say Knolls, on the power play. Still loose in the corner. And a whistle.
4:40 remaining here in the third period. It's going to take a gallant effort by Morris Knolls. They're trailing by 1.
And of course, you mentioned it's 4:40 to go before the end of the period. There's still 4 minutes and 30 seconds before Ian Weiner has to score.
That's right. He was able to put one home with just 10 seconds to go the other night to get them past the semifinals right into the finals here this evening.
Morris Knolls fans rising now, trying to urge this team on. Can they tie it? Could they win it before overtime? We'll find out. Loose in the Knolls zone now. A shot by Durney way over everything and over the end glass.
As we mentioned earlier, Glenn, Morris Knolls is guaranteed at least co-champions because this will be the last game of the season for league play anyway. Of course, they have state playoffs next week. If they are to come back and win this game, they will have sole possession of the championship.
Durney for Delbarton. Weiner for Morris Knolls. And actually, Weiner steps out, makes way for Albert. Check it. That was Zuckerman. He took the draw and won it. Gillanella, get it to Weiner. Weiner, shot. Glove save. Oh, and it slipped out of the glove of Waite and past the right post. Waite again. Check that, I should say, Weiner. Weiner tied up along the far side boards. Durney tries to clear it out. And he gives it off to Bruce. Bruce from center flips it in. Gloved by Kovacs. He'll hold it.
That time Jason Waite almost lost it right there. He had it on his glove. It trickled off the bottom of his gauntlet and just missed the far post. But again, it was the excellent play by Ian Weiner to make the deke at the blue line, and then from about 55 feet out, let that slap shot go that almost trickled in.
And Andy Marshall, you saw push the net off. He was a little disgusted with the checking there of Bob Gillanella. Opposite threes, Mortensen and McKeon for Delbarton and Knolls. A shot just past the net as it was gotten a piece of by Kovacs and slipped wide. The defense did the rest for Knolls.
We're inside 4 minutes here. It's coming down to crunch time.
Trying to find Weiner in center. Dawes missed him with the pass. And you know, Weiner's going to be hanging, looking for that chance at net. Kovacs stops it. Leaves it for Stellato. And it bounces off, I believe, a Delbarton player and out of play. And it's coming outside the faceoff.
Puck bounced off the stick of Peter Ramsey. And faceoff will be brought back to center ice.
I think they might have had a little indecision on who touched it, so they bring it back to the neutral ice faceoff.
That would not be the call. Obviously what happened, it was an errant whistle. Anytime there is a errant whistle without just cause, the faceoff comes back to center ice.
And that gives Weiner half an ice surface more time to get down. Weiner leaves it for McKeon. They each have 2 points tonight, and I'd have to believe they're going to team up again if there's going to be a tying goal for Knolls. Rep knocked around the boards by Albert. McKeon. Weiner in center was tied up. That gives Durney a chance to play in. Alberts, as Andy Marshall tried to check him, he lost his edge and slammed to the boards. Albert's shot tipped wide of the net. Wait, leaves it for, I believe that's Maguire. Back to Maguire on the near side. Flips it high in the air, almost scraping the roof here. And in center, this is Weiner. Weiner trying to work his way in. It was knocked away by the defense of Delbarton and into center. This is Durney. Durney left it for Nelson, but it's knocked away. McKeon didn't see it as the puck went behind him, and that gives Maguire a chance to play in his own zone. Almost knocked away by Knolls, but Delbarton retains control and knocks it in. This is Gillanella. Into center, Bruce there, right back in there. Content Delbarton to kill the clock. Unfortunately, they've stopped it this time.
Well, again, we take a look. Derek Maguire's been out there for the past 8 minutes straight. With just 2:10 remaining, I would expect Knolls to put their top line out right now. Delbarton, I'm sure, will keep their big line of Ramsey, Mortensen, and Nelson out there. The other question you have to look at is when will Coach John Kovacs pull the goaltender John Holovac in favor of the sixth attacker?
Not as long as the puck is like this. Mortensen steals the bad play by Stellato. Shot at net, sticked away. Mortensen carried it wide of the net. This is Nelson playing it out front. Went off the side of the cage. Gillanella without a glove now, stick handling through center ice. Leaves it for McCarter. McCarter had Bill Underwood cutting through the slot. It's back to the right point and now a stoppage of play. Penalty! I think there's going to be a penalty. Slashing. And is it on Maguire? If it is, man, oh man, that's going to be a break for Knolls.
He's arguing it must be on Maguire.
I think Maguire's going to get the slash here, Pete.
And there is a player for Knolls down in the corner. That is hurt. As we see the trainer and Coach John Kovacs come out to take a look. There's Derek Maguire. And of all guys to miss the last minute and 45 seconds, you don't want it to be him.
Well, that's going to be a huge break for Knolls. They are 1 for 5 on the man advantage tonight. Weiner got the power play goal for them late in the second period to tie it at 2. And we're going to have to see the last second sniper, Ian Weiner, one more time, I would think, if Knolls is going to tie this game up.
Or look for Steve McKeon, the senior center, second team All-Star this year. He has 1 goal tonight, 29 for the season.
1:45 to go in this game.
Still a little too early to pull the goaltender.
I would think that if the action remains sustained, as soon as they think they're going to keep possession, he's going to come out, I would think.
It's a little early, although you will have a 6-on-4 advantage, but the advantage that Delbarton has is they will be able to ice the puck and try to shoot for that open net without worrying about having the faceoff come back down into their own zone.
And if you're just joining us, the big turning point in this game right now, with 8:29 to go in this third period, a penalty shot for Delbarton. It was taken by Chris Marshall, was stopped by John Holovac of Knolls, and that could have been the icing on the cake. Instead, it remains a 3-2 game, and I thought they might have to have some help for that injured player.
I think it's Bruce McCarter.
It is. It is McCarter. And he's helped off the ice, feeling around his neck area.
Bruce is a senior, 11 goals, 10 assists, 21 points this year for the Knolls Eagles.
And fans standing up now for Knolls and for Delbarton. Someone's going to be a little more excited than the other. Someone's going to be a little more excited than the other at this stage of the game. Face-off, McKeon and Mortensen for Knolls and Delbarton respectively. On the side you have Weiner. Gianella at the left point. Albert up the slot. McKeon has the puck tied up and it gets past Gianella at the point but out of play. That might bring the face-off right back inside the zone. It'll be at the top of the circle, Pete.
Right where the puck was shot from, as Delbarton trying to clear the puck out of the zone, put it up over the sideboards and into their own bench.
Well, we've been mighty fortunate. We've seen 2 great games in a row, and we could see something even greater maybe in the next few seconds. Here's Weiner. In front, Weiner had it knocked away. Right point. That's Albert. Tied up in McKeon skates. Albert couldn't stop at the right point. Mortensen will give chase, but I believe Albert will get there. He does. Leaves it for Gianella, I should say. Weiner in center. Weiner in the slot. Shot. Glove save by Waite.
The best save of the night for Jason Waite as he used his big left catching hand to pluck that puck right out of the air as was ticketed for the upper corner. Outstanding.
Another face-off inside the zone. And this time, a little different than the other night when Mortensen was taking all the draws.
Watch this save. Big slap shot right there. You see the quick left hand, and he holds on for the whistle.
That's the save that saves games.
The goaltender is pulled. They're with 6 attackers right now.
Underwood plays it back, left point, Gianella. He couldn't handle it. Gianella knocks it back in. Mortensen with it. Knolls tries to get it back. Here's a shot at the open net. Bruce's try was knocked away by 2 players. Gianella hammers it around the boards. Knocked right back in by Delbarton. Ramsey gives chase. Gianella eyes him. Gianella has it. To center. Great play by Gianella. Gianella to the blue line. Works it in. McKeon slot. Stick save in with the glove by Waite. And bodies fly out of the crease as Waite controls the puck.
He controlled the puck, but not easily. The puck first hit him in the glove that rolled up his left arm. He was able to trap it against his body. And with just 34 seconds remaining, this is going to be exciting. Watch right there. You see it? And then he circles around and holds it against his chest with his left glove.
Unbelievable. This is what sports is all about. Mortensen and McKeon, they've faced off before. Albert and Dybus are both in the slot together. Weiner is on the far side for Knolls.
And of course, Delbarton's doing this without their captain, Derek Maguire, who's in the penalty box.
Shot! Oh, and it was sticked away by Waite. A good try there. Another try. Underwood over the net. Time ticking down in this third period. Puck is loose. Ramsey tries to control in the corner. Weiner digging for it in a stoppage of play.
Just 15 seconds remaining. A lot of pressure by Morris Knolls. The shot from the slot was high and wide as Bill Underwood, the senior, looking for his 18th of the year, just missed the net.
McKeon and Mortensen, as you see, a 15-second differential from the game clock and the power play time. So power play for the rest of the game. Weiner's shot well wide of the right side. Takes a bad bounce off the boards. Delbarton tries to clear. Bill Underwood stops it. It's knocked back out by the Delbarton defense. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, and it's a shared title between Delbarton and Morris Knolls.
Delbarton celebrating as if they won the whole thing. Morris Knolls disappointed. They knew they were the better team out there tonight, but just couldn't put it home.
For Delbarton, that is their 5th title in a row. First shared title in league history. Knolls had a chance to win their first, but they will take a piece of it home to Morris Knolls.
There you see the customary handshaking at center ice that happens at the end of all playoff games. Delbarton a little more excited than Morris Knolls. Morris Knolls wanted this game. They wanted it bad. And some good goaltending by Jason Waite.
2 big saves by White.
In the last few minutes of the game, and they came up just 1 goal short. But they will share the title as both teams finish the playoffs each with 1 loss, and they will be co-champions for the 1989-90 season.
Jim Brady in the suit with the dark tie to your right on the screen, and I believe Coach Kovacs, actually no, that's the Delbarton line, so you saw Coach Jim Brady. There's Pete Ramsey. Ramsey, as far as we know, had the 2 assists tonight. We're waiting to get the full assist on the goal by Maguire that won it early on in this 3rd period. And there is Derek Maguire. Ian Weiner did an outstanding job for Knolls. And nice thing is something to build on maybe for the state tournament.
Absolutely. Marsh Knolls plays Monday in the States. Delbarton plays Wednesday. Taking a look at the 2 clubs, a mixture of underclassmen as well as seniors. Marsh Knolls loses McCarter, Underwood, McKeon, Dawes. Also, they lose Brian Keene, and of course the goaltender John Kovacs.
And there's Paul Pearson, the executive secretary of the league with the Mennen Cup. And they will have to, for the first time in league history, mint an extra one of those for one of these teams to take home.
Taking a look at the Delbarton side, they lose a lot of their big scorers. They lose Peter Ramsey, the senior, John Mortensen, the senior. Andy Marshall is gone. Chris Marshall graduates. Of course, Derek Maguire, Mike Crutchlow, and they retain Jason Waite. He's only a junior this year.
An outstanding hockey game. Really, you couldn't ask for much more than this at a championship final. And of course, Paul Pearson, usually something I've noticed in situations like this, when a team has won a title many times and they share one, they usually will give the trophy to take home to the team that hasn't won it as many times, or maybe not at all. So maybe Delbarton will be the nice guys here and let Knolls take something home with them.
Ramsey and Maguire, the 2 captains for Delbarton.
Bill Underwood and Steve McKeon for Knolls shake hands at center ice, and they will jointly hold up the trophy.
The fellow in the middle is an executive from the Mennen Company, sponsors of the tournament.
And the Delbarton fans very happy. They get more hardware to add to their trophy collection back at the Morristown School. And now they'll pose with each team's captains, let them get a chance to have the cup. Derek Maguire, you see to your left, he came up with a big goal at the 2:27 mark of this 3rd period. Chances for both teams, including a penalty shot for Delbarton, with 8:29 to go in the game. It was stopped. Knolls kept coming, but they could not come all the way back and tie this game again.
Neither team has anything to be disappointed about tonight. Both teams put in an excellent effort. We saw good goaltending on both sides, a lot of hard hitting, some good shooting, and just real nice hockey all around.
And I think most importantly, too, we had some excellent officiating, too, Pete.
Absolutely. Eric Monroe and Paul McGinnis did a fine job this evening.
Victory lap for Delbarton. And he'll come near his gangrene supporters. They'll all get a chance to touch the cup. Hopefully they won't knock it over. But they all get a chance to share in it. A lot of closeness with the student body. They're always in fine attendance at athletic events, as they were here tonight.
They'll pass it around so each one of the seniors are able to hold it for a little bit of the lap as they skate around the rink one last time.
So it looks like Delbarton might be able to hang on to that #1 seed, Pete, in the state.
I'm not so sure about that. I think it's going to be tough. St. Joe's from Montvale, another very good school, hanging right in there at in the #2 slot or #3 slot. Rick has played strong this year. Christian Brothers Academy, an excellent team. I can't wait for the state playoffs to begin.
I'll say this, coming into the state playoffs now, you certainly can say that Delbarton is not going to be the automatic titleist this season. It's going to be an amazing fight for the state title.
I think Knolls will represent themselves very well. As I mentioned before, Rick will do a fine job, as will CPA. St. Joe's is not available to play this year due to a coaching violation. But I think we're going to see some real interesting hockey in the next week.
And now Knolls gets their shot with the puck. I just can't get out of my mind, Pete, what an amazing hockey game this was. The game we saw the other night with Morristown here at Delbarton was exciting. This was exciting. You just pray that when you come into a situation like this, it isn't a yawner, that it isn't unexciting, and it certainly wasn't that in these last two games.
I don't know how anybody could have yawned through this game. If you blinked, you would have missed something.
Just a great hockey game against two very evenly matched teams. They were tied after one at 1-1, deadlocked after two at 2-2, but Derek Maguire, as he did the other night, broke the stalemate. We're going to take a break, I think, and we'll be back with more of this recap. Delbarton and Knolls share the title thanks to Delbarton's 3-2 win. Pete and I will be back with more on SCA TV3.
You're watching SCA TV3, Samons Community Access Television.
The only way to go is up. Aim high.
Pete Caggiano back here at the Mennen Arena. With me, John Kovacs, coach of Morris Knolls High School. John, tonight a tough 3-2 loss, but your team is co-champions of the league. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's tough to lose a game like that. You know, anytime you're playing in a championship game, you know, they call it the championship game, and we lost 3-2. It's tough to get the kids with their heads up, but we told them, you know, they beat Delbarton on Monday, and they earned the right to play them in the championship game. We knew what the circumstances were before, even though, you know, they're co-champions. Their heads are down, but, you know, I think it'll dawn on them tomorrow that, you know, that co-champions for the first time in the league play, you know, in Morris Knolls history, and they realize that they're happy about it.
Tonight, Derek Maguire for Delbarton came up with the game-winning goal. Your goaltender spectacular, even stopped the penalty shot. How do your players feel? What are they thinking about right now?
I think it'll set in. I think the loss, they're carrying the loss kind of hard right now because, you know, we told them, you know, half of the pie is nice, but they wanted the whole pie. We couldn't get it. You know, Derek's presence on the ice is just a fantastic hockey player. He's the premier hockey player in the state, and I think he showed it tonight.
Now you have a state game coming up Monday. What will you have to do to propel yourself further along in the state playoffs?
I think if we keep playing the kind of hockey we're playing right now, we'll do fine in the tournament. It just so happens that we're not in Delbarton's seeding on their side. We happen to be seated in Brick's side of the tournament. So for us to meet Delbarton again, we're going to have to get through Brick. Before Brick, we have CBA, but before CBA, we have to be thinking about Heightstown, which is a good hockey club. We haven't seen them that much, but it's going to be really the coach's job to get these kids motivated, not to think about what happened tonight, to keep their heads up and get set for the state tournament.
Okay, now next year you have Ian Weiner, your junior, returning next year. You have to be happy about him coming back.
Well, I think Ian, you know, as right now, is one of the premier hockey players in the state, obviously behind Derek. I think next year he has the ability to be the premier hockey player in the state as Derek was this year. We have a couple nice defensemen coming back, and Bob Gillinella and Brian Albert and Chris Delato, and we have a couple nice forwards and Michael Dybus, Jeff Crane, and Russell Zuckerman. So we have a nice basis for a nice team next year also.
John, congratulations on your co-championship this year, and good luck in the state's playoffs.
Pete, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Now back to Glenn.
Glenn Cass back here at the William G. Mennen Arena. Final score, Delbarton 3, Morris Knolls 2, and both teams skate off with the Mennen Cup for this season. For Delbarton and Morris Knolls, they share the Mennen Cup title. It's the first time in the 14 years the Cup has been awarded that the title is being shared, and it's the 5th in the row for Delbarton and 6 out of the last 7, and as I said, the first for Morris Knolls. Right now we want to take a look at the scoring in the game tonight. In the first period, John Mortensen of Delbarton took an assist from Pete Ramsey at the 8:31 mark, and it gave Delbarton the 1-0 lead. It was Mortensen's 26th tally of the season at the 8:31 mark. McKeon for Morris Knolls got the equalizer at 13-15 on an assist from Ian Weiner. It was McKeon's 29th of the season. And we were tied 1-1. Shots at goal were 11-7 Delbarton in the first. In the second period, Derek Maguire got his first of 2 goals at the 7:47 mark on assist from Ramsey and Mortensen. It was the 35th marker of the season for Maguire at the 7:47 mark. Ian Weiner, the last-second sniper for Morris Knolls, came back to tie it on the power play from Brian Underwood, or I should say Bill Underwood, and McKeon at 14-15, a 2-2 tie. It was Delbarton 10-5 in shots in the second, 21-12 through 2 periods. And in the third period, the only marker of the game, or I should say of the third period, the winning one, Derek Maguire, his second of the game, 36th of the season for Mortensen at the 2:27 mark on the power play, and that was the winner for Delbarton. And as I said, shots were 9-6 Delbarton in the third period, 30-18 through the game. And Pete, we saw a little bit of everything in this game tonight. We thought we had seen almost everything. Third period gave us a little more.
Well, we had the penalty shot, which was unsuccessful by Delbarton, but both teams tonight played very well. Delbarton, again, Derek Maguire, the All-Stater coming through at the end. Morris Knolls, nothing to be ashamed of. They played well tonight from start to finish. They have a good club. Look for them to do a lot of things next year.
Okay, Pete, we're almost ready to wrap things up here from the Mennen Arena. First, though, we do want to say just one more thing also, some final scoring numbers. Delbarton was 2 for 4 on the power play. Morris Knolls 1 for 6. Top scorers for each team. John Mortensen had a goal, 2 assists. Derek Maguire, a pair of goals. Peter Ramsey, a pair of assists. For Morris Knolls, Ian Weiner and Steve McKeon, each a goal and an assist. Now we have a couple more thank yous to say from here at the Mennen Arena. We have to thank the Morris County Secondary Schools Hockey League. That, of course, is Joseph Roberts, the commissioner, Theodore A. Monica, the president, Barry Spetter, the first vice president, Bob Storm, who also is the athletic director at Morris Knolls, the second vice president, and, of course, Paul Pearson, the secretary-treasurer. From Mennen Arena, Ronald Fossey, the rink manager, helped us out with setting up some of the logistics of our cable cast here at Mennen, and Sue Leach of Morris Hills, who helped us up here with the statistics. For Pete Caggiano, I'm Glenn Cass. You've been watching the Mennen Cup Hockey Tournament on SCA TV3. Final score, Delbarton 3, Morris Knolls 2. Good night, everybody.